Hello everybody, welcome back to another video on the channel, Mr. Balloons, and today I'm doing Game Week 24 predictions of the Barclays Premier League. And today I'm going to be starting off on the 18th of February, and it's going to be Aston Villa at home against Arsenal. I'm going to predict this one a 2-1 win to Arsenal. Now, Arsenal's been on a bit of shaky form in the last 3 games. A loss against Everton at Goodison Park, a draw against Brentford, which Brentford are in good form, and then a recent loss against Manchester City 3-1, which is the title competitor. And well, they cannot keep up this bad form in the last 3 games. Yes, there's been some tough games here and there, but they're gonna have to get back in form. I know Aston Villa with Emery as manager, building a great structure for Aston Villa, but Arsenal have to be getting back at 3 points soon, and I think 3 points is definitely come here. I think it's a winnable game for Arsenal, and really can't see them keeping up this bad form. Moving on to the next game, it's going to be Brentford at home against Crystal Palace, and I'm predicting this one 2-1 to Brentford. I mean, Ivan Toney, 14 goals, 3 assists, 17 goal contributions, the best player at Brentford, absolutely amazing striker for Brentford. Their goalkeeper Raya as well as Ben Mee and some other couple of players have been fantastic for Brentford. Crystal Palace do have some really good players, but Wilfried Zaha is probably going to be injured for this game, and Brentford, I could see this being a draw. Crystal Palace got a draw against Brighton. Brentford had the second most draws. I could see this being a draw overall. Crystal Palace missing out on Wilfried Zaha, the little spark of the team. Brentford on really good form. I'm going to go the home advantage and stick with 2-1. Moving on to the next game, Wolverhampton Wanderers at their home ground against AFC Bournemouth, and I'm going 2-0 to Wolves. I think at this point, I think Bournemouth are going down. I know they got a point against Newcastle United, but Newcastle seem to draw all the time, and Bournemouth overall did a bit of business in the transfer market in January, but I don't think it's enough, especially Wolves winning 3-0 against Liverpool. I know it's not in form Liverpool, but Wolves are looking much more sharp, much more better than they were earlier on in the season, and they're really getting this bit of momentum to slowly climb up the table. And going against Bournemouth, it's going to be a walk in the park for Wolves. Moving on to the next game, Brighton and Hove Albion are at home against Fulham FC. And I'm predicting this a high-scoring 3-2 result. Fulham FC, obviously with Alexander Mitrovic, Willian and Reed playing really well in the middle. Fantastic season this has been for Fulham, a very surprise season. Going against Brighton has also had quite a surprise season. Both teams in a very similar position. I was tempted to go 3-0. I know Fulham, they concede and score a lot of goals overall, and they're really on good form, but Brighton are at home. They drew against Crystal Palace and they did play well. They're unlucky not to come away with a win there, but I'm going with the home advantage here. Moving on to the next game is at Goodison Park. It's Everton versus Leeds United, and I'm going here a draw down the middle, 1-1 between the two sides. It is at Goodison Park, and Sean Dyche is their new manager, getting good things against Arsenal, 1-0 win, but then sadly having maybe just one chance hitting the crossbar last game against Liverpool, losing 2-0 in a really good game that maybe Everton could have got a point, but Liverpool deserved it. But we'll get on to Liverpool later on in the video. But Everton, they're at Goodison Park with Sean Dyche. They beat Arsenal, unlucky they got battered against Liverpool, but now Leeds United is going to be a winnable game. But Leeds played very well, nearly getting a win against Manchester United, playing well even though they lost 2-0. Jesse Marsch gone, which is really good for them because he was clueless against Nottingham Forest, clueless all over the pitch, had no clue what was going on. I don't know if they're getting a new manager at the moment, but I think they're going to play better without him because his tactics were not working. And against Everton, who have been on very shaky form, but at Goodison Park, Sean Dyche, it's definitely going to counteract that shaky form, and I think it's going to be a slow progress up. But Leeds, their attacking's fabulous. And both sides in a relegation battle, which means both sides are going to equal out each other. Moving on to the next game, it's going to be Chelsea at their home ground, Stamford Bridge against Southampton. 3-0 display for Chelsea. To be honest, they're on a clean sheet run before they drew 1-1 against West Ham. Obviously with Badiashile playing an absolutely fantastic set of games, playing really well in the defence of Chelsea. And really, João Felix returning, I'm sure he's going to be fantastic up front for them. Kai Havertz, they just look way bigger and better performing players than Southampton. They tried in the transfer market. I did hear Jesse Marsch might be the Southampton manager, but I don't think that's going through anymore. But Southampton are in the mud and Chelsea are home here, and they're a way better side. Chelsea, this is again another walk in the park game. Moving on to the next game, Nottingham Forest at their home stadium against Manchester City. I'm predicting this a very tight 1-0 win to Manchester City. Now, Nottingham Forest, when they're at home, their home record is sensational. Absolutely fantastic. But they're facing Manchester City, who won 3-1 against Aston Villa, went to the Emirates and won 3-1 against Arsenal, who was their title competitors, and are currently top of the league. But Arsenal do have a game in hand, but Manchester City are looking really good. I don't know the charges of the financial fair play, but it looks like it's not stopping them from playing really well like they are. They're even playing well without João Cancelo, so I don't see why they can't get a win against Nottingham Forest. But I think it'll be 0-0 for a lot of this game, because Nottingham Forest seem to hold on a lot. I think it's going to be low scoring, especially with Keylor Navas in goal. He's going to stop a lot against Manchester City, a class goalie. Moving on to the next game, Newcastle United are at home at St James's Park, my favourite club, against Liverpool. And I'm going to predict this one a 1-1 display. Newcastle, 11 draws in the Premier League, the most draws in the Premier League, as I keep saying. But the only loss that Newcastle have gotten this season is against Liverpool in the Premier League. And they're facing them now, this time at home. I don't see Liverpool getting a win because of their bad form, but they look lightning. They look electric. That was fantastic. When Everton hit that crossbar from the counter-attack, it's like the old Liverpool counter-attack. They got the ball and everyone, Salah, Nunes, Gakpo, everyone was sprinting forwards. Fantastic from the club, and they absolutely fantastic from Mohamed Salah, looking way better. Gakpo getting his first goal, and even Trent Alexander-Arnold playing well defensively. I know it's only against Everton, who are off form, and really, they completely deserve that Liverpool. There were some areas where I think they still could be improving, but it's a good sign for Liverpool, especially that Newcastle seem to draw a lot. I think this could be a 1-1 display, and Liverpool could be getting back in to the run of play like they used to. Moving on to a whole new day though, 19th of February, Manchester United are at Old Trafford facing Leicester City. 2-2. Leicester, fantastic in the last couple of games, scoring loads of goals. James Maddison, Harvey Barnes, all of them, fantastic from Leicester. But they also conceded a lot. Winning 4-1 against Spurs was absolutely fantastic. And now they're away against Manchester United, who are on form, but they nearly lost to Leeds in the first time they played them. And to be fair, Leeds did play well in the second game that they played Leeds. But Manchester United, on form, Manchester United, going against Leicester at home. I cannot see Manchester United losing because of their amazing form. But I can easily see this a draw because Leicester, they were on amazing form just before the World Cup break. And it took them a while to get back on that form, but they're now back. They're scoring goals, they're also conceding. I think it's going to be another draw. 2-2. Tottenham Hotspur at their home ground against West Ham United and another London derby. I'm going to go 2-1 to Spurs. Spurs are probably the favourites in this game, but West Ham did get a good draw against Chelsea and something's gelling together. At the club, and I think they're going to slowly climb up the table to 10th. I just think in this game, Spurs are probably the better side overall. I think it'll be a very close game. Yes, it could definitely be a draw, but at home, I'm going with home advantage. Before I do actually end today's video, I'm going to check how I did last week. And, well, I did terrible. I did predict 11 games last week. I got 4 points out of 22 points in game week 23, which is definitely shambles. I've had a shambles in the last couple of weeks. It's been terrible. I did get Leicester winning against Spurs. I said 3-2, it was 4-1, so I did get a point for that. I did also predict West Ham and Chelsea to get a draw. I predicted 2-2, and it was 1-1. I also did predict Liverpool to win at 2-1 against Everton. It was 2-0. And I predicted Wolves to win against Southampton. 3-1, but it was actually 1-0. So I get a few points there. Pretty poor. Hopefully I can have a better week this time. And overall, I've got 128 points out of 442 points. That will be the end of my video. Hopefully you can like and subscribe. And always remember to turn on notifications to never miss one of my fantastic YouTube videos. I'll see you next time. Toodle pip now.